Here we go. We named this deck. I shouldn't be deck teching this at all because I have no idea about this deck at all. But I'm gonna do it. I guess we're gonna call it Super Friends. Ixalan Edition. Just in case you guys want to spend all your mythic rares, here's a deck for you. This is the basis of the deck. I really think Angrath is a lot better than people give it credit for. That +1 is huge. Huge. If Eugenides was here, we'd name it after him. All right, bees. That's the kind of hard-working mods I enjoy. And in fact, while we're at it, let's do this. Cardboard Nomad. Welcome to the crew. Thanks for being around. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Thank you so much for hanging out in the streams so often lately. Appreciate all your commentary. Appreciate you showing up in the Discord. Enjoy your sword. You deserve it. All right. So the question is, what do we do now? Well, Bees has been talking to me about this card. Boy, I have no idea how many to play. 2 or 3. But because we have all these Planeswalkers on 5 and 6, we can flip Azor's Gateway. And even if we could only play a Vraska off of it for 1 mana, that seems pretty good. We can think about you know, putting other broken cards with it. I think we want Drover here, because I think a turn 4 Angrath is way better than a turn 5 Angrath. Like, if you can get a turn 4 Angrath, I think you can beat the control decks. Because if you're just making them discard a card every turn, I think that's good enough. Like, they need a Vraska's Contempt or an Ixalan's Binding the next turn, or they're just going to be shit out of luck pretty fast. And then I would take other value cards like Jade Light. Probably 4 of these in the 3-drop. Phoenix, because I think it's good. Remember, we need to fill up every slot here. So, what are we going to do for 1-drops? Duress? Shaper Sanctuary? Let's say Duress for now. Boy, this is some shoddy art. I don't know. I'm curious what you guys would think. Fanatical Firebrand is a very interesting card. It's really good against Drover and a lot of other deep root elites. Can't really play a deep root elite out when someone has a Firebrand out. There's probably something better we could do here. We could do like Mutiny. It's a pretty decent 1-drop. Reckless Rage. Generally, the people who play Azor's Gateway are playing Control. And Planeswalkers are definitely Control. So maybe you could go full Control with this deck and play things like Vraska's Contempt. Maybe instead of so many Phenai. I think you need Vona's Hunger. I think we just fill it up with removal at this point. I don't know if we can really do Moment and Lightning Strike. But for now, we'll put 3 in of each. We just want to make sure we have everything at turns 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Like, too many Planeswalkers is too many Planeswalkers. So that's why I think it's really nice to be able to use Azor's Gateway to pitch one of them for later. Maybe Sunbirds is a good call here. I guess we already have 6 drops. I think this is kind of control-y, so we do want some duress. Reckless Rage is not so good for us. Drover, we don't seem to have any dinosaurs, which is a problem. You could play Carnage Tyrant or Tetsamok, but that's in spot 6. I'd probably be down for at least one Tetsamok. I haven't been playing my green-black deck lately, so I'm not as in love with Tetsamok as I once was, but man, that card is decent. The value you can get on that card is even greater than Settle the Wreckage sometimes. And they don't even have to attack. Yeah, I got 0 Angrath and 1 Vraska. And 0 gateways. You at least have 2 gateways. Like, I'm not sure what else we're doing with that gateway. I mean, my ideal card to use with Till O'Nally's. I think it's 1 L at the beginning, right? This seems like the best card, which of course is in Spanish. Best card I could come up with to use a whole bunch of mana with that we're allowed to play. But boy, that 2-drop slot is already very full. Thing is, when you use Gateway, you don't want to just have 5 different casting costs. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 different casting costs. No, I don't think Gateway goes in Gruul Dinos. Gateway might go in a specific Polyraptor deck. But otherwise, red-green Dino is just so efficient. You don't have time to loot at the end of a turn. You're playing your max mana every turn. You're tapping out. And your creatures are so big and so fast. It just doesn't even matter. So I wish there was another mana dump for Gateway here, but Gateway is mostly, just to loot, as well as let you play all this other stuff at once. Like, imagine playing Angrath and Vraska on the same turn. I think a big part of this deck is trying to get a turn 4 Angrath, because that can be just truly devastating. If their board has nothing but a creature that Angrath can sacrifice, it's pretty good. I just think Jade Light Ranger and Phoenix are the best. If you're not playing Dinos, Jade Light is the best 3-drop and Phoenix is the best 4-drop. They're super hard to cast, but at least we get Rootbound Crag, and that was kind of my point that we'll talk about another day, is that Jund is one of the most supported colors because we have the Rootbound Crag, No Foul Orchard, and we have the Dragon Skull Summit. So any 3-color deck that has 2 of the untapped or conditionally tapped lands, I would consider supported. And that is Grixis and Jund and Bant and Esper. Well, you can figure it out. Sun Petal Grove, Dragon Skull Summit, Glacial Fortress, Rootbound Crag. But there's good reason to be playing those decks where you have that full support. I think this deck would be fun. It's a lot of Planeswalkers. But if you can get to them a turn early, like, you could convince me to play Ranging Raptors in here to try to get another mana. Or Captain Lannery's Storm. Lannery's Storm on turn 3 with a Drover can get you to Vraska on turn 4. Turn 4 Vraska is pretty good. The 1-drop slot is the one I have the most question about. What would you guys play in this 1-drop slot? Duress? Reckless Rage is not that good for us. I've not played around with Mutiny. Seems okay. And it also seems like a card that you could dump early, because it's not going to be that good early, but might have a lot of value late. So it's a good sack to Azor's Gateway. Because we're already 3-color. Are we going 4-color? Also because these are the only 2 good Planeswalkers, in my opinion. When I was running Jeskai Control, I played Huatli because it was a win con, and I didn't have many. But there's just no other Planeswalker that makes me want to splash to that degree to go 4-color. Mutiny's good at killing lords. That's a good point. Like, most of these gateway decks are just basically all removal and then some big payoff card, but we don't really have that in this game. So mostly Azor's Gateway for me is a way to filter out too many Planeswalkers and at the same time get the ability to cast a bunch of Planeswalkers. Azor's Gateway with Tetsamok seems pretty great now that I think about it, though, by the way. You could wipe an entire board, no matter how many Merfolk or Vamps were out there, with just one tilt of a flipped Gateway and Tetsamok. Just get 13 black mana, just wipe. That seems pretty sweet. Out of nowhere. You don't even have to be putting pre-counters on all game. Thrashing Brontodon. That's a good card. That could fit in here. Three Duress, 3 Mutiny, where we're at 40 cards still. I think you really have to choose between Lightning Strike and Moment of Craving. And I would choose Moment. Lightning Strike only seems better when you want to be able to hit face. $37, we cut one bonus hunger and we're good. I think you guys would be surprised if you played a bunch of Angrath on how good he was. He can kill any Merfolk. He can kill any Vamp, almost. Definitely any Merfolk. Almost any Vamp. Like, Cumena would be sacked. And Merfolk aren't really interacting with you, so turn 4 Angrath seems okay. Though by turn 4 they have like 30 Merfolk and then Angrath would just die. But you know, that's why you play all this other removal. I don't know. I think it's pretty sweet. It's not the right one. We're playing Angrath, the Flame Unchained, where that +1 is just super strong. I don't think it's better than Liliana's +1 that gets played in Modern all the time. Now Liliana costs 3 and Angrath costs 5. But once it's on the board, don't get me wrong, Liliana's better. Whichever Liliana I'm talking about. But forcing your opponent to discard a card, regardless of the 2 mana, is just great. Just great. Especially against these decks. Well, that's the problem, actually. Maybe it's not good against Merfolk because Merfolk has already dumped their hand. By the time we play Angrath. Like, at best we can hope for a turn 4 Angrath, right? Unless we start shoving Lannery Storms, but then it's still turn 4. Yeah. I know Vraska is very, very strong. And even when I had an answer to 1, when I had to play 3 against 3 in a row, I lost. So if you can just start chaining Planeswalkers, I think you're good. And Azor's Gateway can help. We have a pretty healthy distribution on this curve. Red, white, Huatli. I just don't see it going 4 colors. I mean, I'll tell you once again, I had a lot of fun with her when I was playing Jeskai Control. Because I had counter spells and stuff. But without counter spells, she's pretty fragile. She's good. But we're already 3 color. And there's no way to get off that. We could take out green. And then we have no ramp and no jade. No explorer. We could take out red and then we lose the Phoenix and a bunch of 1-drops. We could make up for it with other 1-drops in white though. Yeah. What about the green-white one? We don't have enough creatures for that, but it'd be nice to have another Planeswalker on a different point in the curve. Problem with the red-white one is it's also in the 5-drop slot. There's no good 7-drops, and there's like definitely no good 3-drops. Or should we channel our inner Nate and go blue and play Jace? I don't know. Splashing for a 4th color is rough. We'd have to lose Jadelight Ranger. We could easily keep Gateway. We'd have to play enough green to play Drover. Which means we could probably still be playing Craving and Hunger. We do not need a Gruul. We do not need that. They got enough. They got enough stuff. Yeah, I still think that Enchantment Ascend control deck is very strong. If you can get Ascend on Secrets of the Golden City, Arch of Erazka, I guess that's it. There's one more I was thinking of. I don't know, man. That deck just seems really strong. Compass. Yeah. Or treasure maps. Treasure map is kind of slow, but once you pop it, you'd be able to dump your hand. The thing is, I feel like Jadelight Ranger does all that and gives you a 2/3 body or a 3/2 body or something. Jadelight Ranger has a lot of value in it. You could cut the Phoenix and just put in more control. The Phoenix, I think, is too much. You want to win with the Planeswalkers. That's how you win. You just gotta stay alive until you get there. So you can put in a bunch of other 4-drops. I'm not sure if you want Ripjaw Raptor or... What are the good red 4-drops? There aren't really any. From what I've seen, Azor's Gateway has to be played with a ton of removal. Oh, here is a great one, actually. Here is perhaps the best one, which you were a little bummed about. I would play 2 of these for sure. I don't know what I put in my sideboard to get. But yes, I would play these. It's fine to exile. You don't need to tutor early game. You could play something like Reggie, you know? You could play no creatures until Reggie and help fill out the 5 slot a bit. I don't know what else you guys would think to fill out the 5 slot. Yeah, you could put Carnage Tyrant, exactly. You could put another Tetsamok. You could put another Vraska. You could put another Angrath. You could put Vona's Hunger, Vraska's Contempt. You could put a Star of Extinction. Now that's a card I love and did a ton of work for me back in the day. And by that I mean like a month ago, but Star of Extinction. Like if you're already casting Acquisition, you might already be at that much mana. And Star is super duper good. Does kill all your Planeswalkers, so... But I assume you have no Planeswalkers out when you're playing Star. That's what I love about Mastermind's Acquisition, is that all of a sudden we have a sideboard. I don't know, man. It's in that 5-drop slot. I guess it's a good 5-drop. Wait, this is the Poet. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one I had. That could be a good way to fill. I see what you're saying by critical mass. Binding Fog. Like you could have the 4th Vraska's Contempt. Like you can't always get the best card, but you could get a card that really helps you change the game. Get a Vona's Hunger. You could get a Golden Demise. That's a card that's not in here. And is pretty strong against the current meta. Might even be worth playing over Vona's Hunger. The problem is that there's actually a lot of decent ways to deal with Carnage Tyrant now. It used to be you played a Carnage Tyrant against a control deck and you won, unless they had Star of Extinction, which is what I was running, or Settle. But there's just a lot of Settle and Vona's Hunger, and the Carnage Tyrant isn't quite the beast it was. It's still a beast. but not quite the beast it was. I mean, you could just get a burn spell, kill him. I'm not sure there's anything in red I really want to get. Form of the dinosaur? Maybe. Form of the dinosaur seems pretty good against merfolk, to tell you the truth. Or Tillinolly's Summoner. What about that? You don't even have to put it in your deck. You just wait till you flip your gateway and then you go get it. I like that a lot. What was the other one that was in there that I liked? You get Zakama. You get all white mana, and you should already have red and green. Get a Tali. Oh, Form of the Dinosaur was the other one. Your sideboard at this point, especially for best of one games, can just be the randomest one-ofs that are just incredibly strong in certain situations. I guess I'm not sure why we're playing green here. Drover's very good. And we need green for Vraska, but there's probably other ways to get green for Vraska. Drover's probably still the best way to ramp, but we have no dinos. So it never becomes a 3-3. It's just a 1-1 that produces mana. Maybe that Azakan Seer is good here. I have no idea how to spell that. I think it's Atzakan. Atzakan? Let's just put in Seer. How about that? Atzakan. That's what I thought. Oh, wait, that's green-white. That's no good. Anyway, all of a sudden I'm more excited about the sideboard than I have the main board. Look at these answers we have. I love not having to even have Zakama in your deck until you can play him, and then you just... And by the way, if you haven't read Zakama, white is the weakest of the abilities. White's ability doesn't win you any games. If you can just play the green and red ability, which we have the colors for, you're fine. Lightning bolts and naturalizes as many as you want. And that's the thing about the gateway, folks. That's the thing about the gateway. Is it gives you so much mana that you can mastermind acquisition Oh, wait, that puts it on the top of your library. I guess you have to draw it. But the next turn, you can play Zakama and play like 12 bolts. From the mana you're getting from the gateway. Like, Zakama is a sweet, sweet payoff for this deck. Perhaps the best payoff card in all of Arena. Now, Azors will only get you one color, so you might just be stuck with 6 bolts. Generation. What's up? Why isn't this coming through my headphones? It's still working on stream, right? It's not. The audio is fucked. I'm sorry about that, folks. You missed all the super awesome soundboarding that I'm sure we were doing. Did you even hear that lo-fi music? Yeah, well. Yeah, the Elf Revolt deck. It looked good, man. Is Vengeful Rebel an elf? Probably not, huh? Aetherborn Warrior. That's a jank. I did see you're only running 3 Renegade maps. And as a map aficionado, I somewhat disagree with that. 4 maps or nothing. That's my map opinion. I don't know, man. This deck seems super fun. Like, if I had the cards, I would build this deck in a second and test it out. Oh no, we lost the emote bees. Looks like it's back to work for you, man. Well, here I am hitting soundboards that you can't even hear. It's a shame. I don't even know what that is. What does that say? Eat pizza? Oh. That looked like some wild creature to me. But now I see it's a hand trying to eat pizza. No NDA, man. But as you can see, oh, this is the wrong title. What should we call this deck? Jundi Friends? Or what about... Gateway Friends? How about just Gateway Friends? I don't know. I've flipped the dagger several times, folks, and you'd be surprised what that much extra mana can do for you. Alpha Gateway? I really like the look of this deck right now. The problem is I have like 2 mythic rares. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to even make the heart of this deck. Hidden Herbalist. I want back my Gatecreeper Vines and Mavani Acid Moss. No, they cut Gatecreeper Vine. We used to have it and they cut it. That card did a lot for fixing, I'll tell you that. The only person you could have seen playing it would be the AI. The AI might still have it, but we don't get it. Because it'd be in many more of my decks. Anyway, folks, I think that's it. We made it through